Welcome to the podcast of School Beyond Limitations. In this podcast, you will learn how to guide your child through their school life with the intention to help them find their unique essence that will allow your daughter, your son to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. Why is it important to guide students through the educational journey? My name is Dr. Martina. I'm the co-founder, CEO and developer of the school model of School Beyond Limitations. If you would like your child to live a fulfilled and meaningful life, then this is the channel for you. So why is it important to guide our young people, students through the educational journey? I think it's really a very important question because sometimes we have this understanding that allowing them to do whatever they want to do without any guidance is the way forward. And again, I'm not questioning any of the techniques, and everyone needs to find their own approach to education. But I also firmly believe, on the basis of research, on the basis of studies, on the basis of experience, on the basis of so many years of experience, that specific guidance and clear guidance and, flexible guidance, but with clarity and based on specific aspects, is so extremely needed. And for that, I would like to just share with you a conversation that I had very recently with an alumni. And this student sent me a letter, or gave me a letter basically at the end of the school year. And in the letter, this student said, expressed the gratitude, of course, for what SBL stands for and for the experiences the student was able to go through for 3 years, I think, I'm not mistaken. And this student also said to me, I would like to talk to you once when I'm out of school and give you even more feedback about School Beyond Limitations. And this feedback session took place only recently, as I mentioned before. And this specific student said, SPL is such an amazing environment. She even said, this is my place, this is my family, this is my community, this is the community where I found lifelong friends and a community that I feel so strongly connected with. But she didn't only say that, she said, this is I want to be there to even support School Beyond Limitations, because the innovative school model of School Beyond Limitations needs to go out there. We need to really make a shift in education. And so we talked about lots of different things. And one of the main aspects that this student also mentioned to me, which we also integrate into SPL, but we need to do it even more. And this is why I'm sharing it with you, because this is something that also we as educators and parents may want to embrace, is that she said we need a lot of guidance, and we need really people who make us young people be accountable. We need to be pushed in some ways. We can't just be left there and say, okay, if you are not okay today, you don't do it. That doesn't mean that we do not relate to them and we don't understand them. We need to listen actively to how they feel. Of course, that's very important, and we need to understand. But there are moments where we actually just give them a little bit, push and say, okay, let's now move forward. We will have time to talk about this as well, but now we focus on this and let's move forward. And I will help you go through this process. And at the end of the day, or of the session, or of the mentoring session, or of the lessons, and at home of the day, I want this to be accomplished. I really make you accountable, and then we look at it together, so it's really making them accountable, having somebody at their side who actually models it, of course, and sees that there is, that I just can't sit down and not do anything, because it's already our human body and human nature which is geared towards actually doing something, which is geared towards getting up, exploring and doing something. So if there's somebody at my side who encourages me to do that, and who will then also guide me through the process, or who will just be there as a support, then this is extremely important. So, it's accountability, it's guidance with accountability, and not being happy if nothing has happened. And if nothing has happened, then sitting down with these people and saying, now we do it together, instead of maybe telling them off. Just sitting there, creating the space and creating this shared space. Another thing that the student was telling me, and which is also something that we have implemented more, especially with our afternoon sessions as well, but also in the morning, is that she said, it's so important to actually have some instruction, to have some teaching, lecturing. She also used the word that of lecturing taking place. So it's basically knowledge sharing, so that we do inquiry, yes, and inquiry-based learning is so important. But first, I need to, lay the foundation. I need to give some input first. And if there is some valid input that the students can listen to also and can open up towards, and are opened up towards in a way that fascinates them and that may inspire their creativity, then we can take them off into different dungeons and different disciplines and different sub-disciplines, sub-questions and so forth. So I think it's very important for us to be aware as adult people that we, of course, allow them to find out by themselves. That's important, and to encourage self-study and encourage also self-discovery. Of course, that's important, but also the important sharing of the rich knowledge, and which is not just information that I can read in a book, because if I share knowledge that is really embedded within myself, and I share that afterwards, or with students or my children, and with somebody else, then this is based on lived knowledge. It's based on embodied knowledge. It's based on this tacit knowledge I always talk about, which is within ourselves, and which is kind of embedded also in not only factual facts. Of course, it's also factual facts, but I'm talking about this from a different angle. I'm talking about it because I personally am interested in this, and I'm personally loving the fact that I can share this knowledge. And I will never forget about a moment when a student of ours, after having listened to a person who was so engaged in historical matters, then came to us and said, I wanna study history, because then this student before never thought of history. But then this was so, the storytelling of this professional about historical facts was so extremely engaging that this opened up a new field for the student, and the student started studying history and talking about and debating about history, which is so very important. So I think these are two aspects that the student shared with me yesterday, and that's why I think it's so important that we guide our students through the educational process, that we allow for free play, for free moments, free moments to be there, and free learning to be there. But it's also, and this is what SPL strongly believes in, and what I strongly believe in, is that by sharing and by guiding, by asking for some accountability, and by showing interest then also, because if I share, then I don't only share the knowledge. I share also something from me. I'm sharing something, and what happens there? There is the possibility of connection taking place, and when there is connection taking place, then there is meaning within what we are doing, and that's why it's important that we never underestimate that this takes time, this requires patience, but it takes also commitment from the educator, from the parent, from the facilitator, the teacher, to be an active part within the educational process. And then, once this energy flow is going, and we talked yesterday also about this receiving and giving, sharing and receiving and giving, then there is something that goes deeper, and it's not just, as I said before, factual. It goes into a different emotional and spiritual level where connection is taking place, and where the why of what we are doing makes such a big difference and is perceived. And when the why is perceived, you can imagine that then, the student and your child is open to listen to you. Yeah. And so I hope that this gives a little bit of an insight how important it is that we are present in this educational process, and that we do not underestimate our own role within this educational process. And that means also we are part of it, and we share it, and we are there with our hearts. And when that's the case, then it's not just a ticking off, then it's a growing together. And this is what we are doing at the SPL, and we are constantly developing further within SPL. We have certainly in the past 6 years, it's our 6th year of actually 7th year of existence, because the pilot phase is also part of it. But I can say this has constantly developed. We have professionals on site and within our institution who constantly contribute together with the students to create something even more exciting for our students. But it's a journey, and it's a journey that can be extremely fascinating if we undergo this journey together, and it becomes then a movement. It becomes a movement that what education can be about and can be like. And I think that's the beautiful thing. And SPL is a different environment. And if you would like your child to be part of this wave of new innovative learning, then you can reach out to us, and you will find the website in the description.
At School Beyond Limitations, we support our students find their unique essence. Feel free to share the content of this podcast with other parents. We are here to show that your children can indeed bring their unique essence into life. So, reach out to us if you think that this is what you'd like your daughter, your son to experience, or apply through our website. Also, leave your comments, your questions, or your review about the podcast. Share it with others. And as you know, sharing is caring.